Tonight's Day in History is part of the We the People series, happening all year long, brought America's favorite pastime to the homes of many.
August 26, 1939 marked the first televised Major League Baseball game. It was broadcast on station W2XBS, which would later become NBC. Announcer Red Barber called the game between the Cincinnati Reds and the Brooklyn Dodgers at Ebbets Field in New York.
At the time, television was still in its infancy. Regular programming did not exist yet, and very few people owned television sets, with only around 400 in the New York area. How about that? A cool piece of history.
Well, isn't it crazy how far things have come? I mean, now just looking at the streaming services for baseball alone, I mean, it's crazy.
And for WIFR.
Yeah.